Hey. Okay, he's dead.
I talked to my guys. You can talk to them too.
Okay, are they on board?
Some are questioning.
All right, so this morning we discussed three options with these two representing Kakoas, me and this brother here representing our small group that, you know, everyone says they're going to show up and then people don't. So for the main part one, when we get to where we're going today, wherever that is, look at the brother next to you, to your left and to your right, and know that these are the people that matter. Because at the end of the day, we can talk all we want to, but until we start committing to action and putting boots on the ground, our words mean nothing. So we had three options that we discussed. The first option was we show up at the sheriff's office, which is what they expect us to do. And we stand around outside looking like idiots, and we just stand there and give our speech and go home. And then it makes the sheriff look cowardly to people who don't understand certain things, and it makes us look like we accomplished nothing. That was the first option. The second option is currently in the state of Virginia, there's no law, state law, banning open carry of firearms within the sheriff's office. There's no signage on the door as of 3 days ago that say no weapons inside of the sheriff's office, and there's no ordinance in Gloucester County that bans the open carry of firearms on public property, which would be the sheriff's office. So the second option was we go, we do our protest, and we step in, we show up, and we walk into the sheriff's office. We give our speech that we've got written up, say our piece, stand around, talk, and just be a little bit of a nuisance, but making a point, making a statement, because that's what a protest is all about. It's not about numbers, it's none of that. It's making a statement. We're here, we're checking you, you've breached your oath to the Constitution, you're going to have to answer to us, eventually. The third option, which is my personal favorite, but once again, I understand certain people are not on board with it, but my third option that we discussed was proceeding to the exact same place that the incident happened. Now, the lawyers that we've spoken to said that it was never voted on as school property, which is a requirement in Gloucester County. It has to be voted on by the school board, passed in an ordinance as school property. That hasn't happened. The building is designated as a government office building, not school property. In the land deeds or whatever that stuff is called, it's designated as a government facility. That's why we believe the charges ultimately will be thrown out of court. Now, so the third option would be we go there. Switch it up. The sheriff's office has no idea that we would be there. They'd have to readjust, it'd throw them off, make our speech there, hang out, and to the general public will look like we're breaking the same law. To us, we kind of know that in the end it's going to get thrown out of court. If everyone masked their identity properly, which we have a way to do that, my face being the only one directly on camera while carrying, I will be the one that gets charged. If they proceed to charge anybody later, I would be the one charged with their dreamt up felony that we would later beat in court. Obviously, we never tolerate arrest at our protests, which means that if a police officer begins to harass any one of you or attempt to arrest you, I will put myself physically between that officer and you. At that point, if they proceeded, a warning would be given, and after that, y'all know that we will defend ourselves within the protected rights, you know, enshrined in the Constitution. So those are our three options. We go outside the sheriff's office, we go into the sheriff's office, or we go to the place it happened and we establish a precedent for them not charging us, which then would result in the other boys' cases being thrown out of court. We agreed that we would go there. However, it needs to be 100% agreement that if we stand, we stand. Nobody goes down. So yeah, that's the three options. We voted on going directly there. If you have questions concerning it, we have considered almost everything, and I'm willing to answer those questions or attempt to. So if you have questions concerning it, now's your time to ask.
Well, like they're going to say, I was just following orders.
Yep. And that's something else so we're working on something here in Virginia. I won't release the name. I'll release it privately. I won't release it on camera. But Kakoas will run the East Coast. Virginia will be divided into 4 regions. Anybody recruited east, Virginia will go to you guys. But to do that, we have to take a stand. We can't keep talking and not doing anything. That's what our fathers did. That's why we're in the position we're in. They complained, in the 1960s, the 1970s about government overreach. A lot of them did. Maybe not your father particularly, but our fathers as a, generational thing. And they did nothing. If we continue to do nothing but cry online and not take a physical stand, your children are going to have a tenth of the rights you have today. And then you screwed them over. And so the whole point of this is because our fathers didn't, so our children don't have to. And I do reiterate, whatever happens today, if a sheriff deputy tries to put hands on any one of you to arrest, I will place myself physically between you. I will accept any charge whatsoever, and I will defend you, even if they kill me today. And I mean that. My brother here feels the same way. I know these brothers here, they have stood with me for a long time. We obviously don't want that to happen today, and 90% chance it won't. It will be a successful protest. It'll look good. We'll be defying them. But if it does happen, I promise you I'll be the first one to go down. So, and all we can do at this point is ask you to stand with us. Any more questions? Are you good? Good.
Right.
Good. 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 Now, we won't have the numbers that we wanted to have, unfortunately, because at the end of the day, people say they'll stand and they don't. They find an excuse. We'll be adding one more to the mix. Some of the ones we initially would have had are currently facing charges for the initial issue, so it's better, that they sit this one out for now. But we will have a QRF on standby. If if shit does hit the fan, somebody will come along and play army and clean up. Come on, that was good. But
Okay, Murray.
we will have a QRF on standby. So not show our whole hand. And once again, it's not about numbers, it's about making a statement. So I believe you boys are dedicated. We're going to use it. And sic semper tyrannis, thus always the tyrants. We can't live by our state seal if we don't embody that physically. So. Oh, I didn't hit that. That's nice too. So, needless to say, I'm rocking and ready. So my adrenaline's pumping, nervous. It's to be expected, but obviously our goal is to go home at the end of the day. But the difference between us and them is they believe in their paycheck and we believe in what we're standing for, and it's a big difference. So
We know at least one understands the Constitution but don't want to get fired.
yep, and they do all talk, they do all speak amongst themselves, and if we sow doubt in their ability and their credibility today, it sows doubt in any future arrest they make regarding this subject. That's what we did in Newport News when they arrested me they charged me with trespassing, but they did it because I was open carrying, and they told me to take my gun off, and I refused. And when we went back to the police station about, 3 weeks later, I can't remember, and we marched to the front door open carrying. And later, when that was brought up in court, the entire charge was thrown out. It was like, this is just stupid, because we established an issue with their credibility and their willingness to enforce the law, and that's our goal today. And I think it's the wisest route we can choose. It's been considered, every angle of it, by men way smarter than me that I listen to, and I think that this is the best route we can go today.
So, talked about a couple potential charges, but I'd like to add another one on there. So once we get there, I'm going to give a short speech, and then I'm going to pray a public rosary. You're free to pray with me. You can even pray against me, but I'm going to pray a public rosary because part of this is we have a First Amendment right to express ourselves, especially at a school board meeting, which is open to the public, which is what Trevor and the other three were arrested for. So when it comes down to it, I'd like to have a First Amendment type event going on there as well. I mean, I have all my rights all the time, and that's one thing that really bothers me about gun control laws. Like, I can't go on Capitol Square grounds now if I'm carrying a firearm and talk to my, even in the park right there, even by the bell tower. May 12th, they passed it, so all of Capitol Square is a gun-free zone.
That'll change.
You're damn right that's going to change, because that's bullshit.
We're marching armed in January, so
You're damn right.
doing the same thing.
So, I'm going to pray a public rosary. If you guys know how to pray the rosary, you're welcome to join me. Otherwise, I'm going to be there, kneeling down, and I'm going to be praying, and we'll see how they react to that. Just a bit of psychological warfare and spiritual warfare against the evils of the world. So you guys being there while I'm praying, I'm basically creating a religious service, which is, by Virginia state law, it's I want to say it's section 12.8, 286. I got it in my phone. But that would make it a class 4 misdemeanor for y'all to carry during a religious meeting. So I just want y'all to know that I'm going to have a religious meeting going, a religious event. So
Embrace it all. I mean,
another one to tack on for y'all.
Yeah, at that point they're gonna do what they got to do. Are we all in agreement that nobody gets arrested today?
Yes.
We all in agreement on that.
Absolutely.
Good. So, come what may, and also I encourage everyone to protect your identity as much as possible, or as much as you wish. Obviously, there's no protecting my identity. I'm a tactical lone gnome. You know, they already know that short little Oompa Loompa over there is Mike Dunn. So there's no point in me protecting mine. But if I do encourage all of you, if you are able, mask up, cover your arms like any identifying marks. We'll handle the vehicle situation at the meetup point that we've already considered. So, you know, I do encourage all of you to take as much precaution as possible. But either we all come home or nobody comes home. So, and I promise before God, if my boys don't get to go home, ain't nobody going home on the end of their shift either. So, because I won't tolerate it. It's time to stand up.
Did you wipe front to back or back to front?
And another thing you guys have to realize too, there's a lot of groups like you across
Can't promise
Virginia.
you won't be shot.
There's there's a lot of, you know, y'all are part of Eastern Virginia, and there's a lot of groups like y'all across Virginia. And our forefathers begged and pleaded and cried for years, and nothing happened. And we have done the same for years. Before I was born, people were pleading and crying, and they were ignored. And it's past that point. We make statements, we give warnings, and we'll defend ourselves within, you know, the rights protected by the Constitution. So, screw it. Anyways, we got shooting to do.
Yeah, let's shoot. So you got two options. You need someone to walk down that way, make sure there's nobody back there. You can shoot along that shooting lane. You can set up whatever targets you want down there. And then we have over here, there's a steel pipe. It's got some metal targets hanging from it. You can arrange them however you want to. Shoot however you want. Shoot it with a green tip. I don't really care. Just have fun. Do a little practice. I'd like to see some quick draws. I'd like to see some quick aims. Possibly switching between targets if possible. Just any sort of realistic shooting scenario. I don't want to see some bullshit slow fire nonsense that nobody actually does.
When it comes to combat, especially, I don't know if any of y'all.
Overwhelming force.
Yeah, I don't know how many of you have been in combat, but I can speak from experience that when you're outnumbered, as we will be, shoot fast, and you know, fire superiority is important. So I definitely agree with that, because slow fire don't happen. I ain't never seen that happen in combat. So you literally just, you shoot towards whoever's moving towards you, and find cover. Cover is another important thing. So
Go ahead, practice your cover, quick fighting, quick drawing, switching weapons, anything like that. All right, make ready to range.
oh, all right. I'm gonna walk this way and see if we got anybody.
I guess there's a mounted boys. I got 2 spare mags in my backpack.
You can also set up a running gun along this path here if you want to. So y'all go ahead and do your thing.
We're just fucking around this way.
Punches right to him. I'm using green tips on it too. See how easy it goes through?
Said they are cool. God, my hands are oily.
Flyer.
Up and shot it underneath the car park one time.
Feel that? How many did I hit? I don't know.
Dude, earlier I went like this with this because I'm so used to an AK. I went and hooked it like this and tried to rock it back into place. I was like, what's wrong with this?
I guess I'll dump this mag.
Typically I would.
Y'all want to step back that way? I'm going to stand back here and shoot that.
I'm very fucking serious about that shit.
I make a lot of jokes, but I don't really know if
You ain't hurt my feelings, dude. I've had a similar experience, but I mean, they were closer to my age.
grab something to eat, relax. That's what we normally do after protest, but I know how y'all want to do it. Some people want to like roll direct.
We're gonna need some Brunswick stew before we go. Yep. This girl made some. Millstone attached around your neck and being thrown into the depths of the ocean. And to offend anyone. Pointing guns at me while I do it. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be kneeled down. I'm gonna have everything here, and I'm gonna be kneeled down and praying. Right. And I'm gonna be in front of all of you. I'm not gonna be behind cover. If they want to martyr me, I'll be doing that and do.
Because it's going to need a car bomb.
Right.
I'm not taking my fucking helmet. You guys not shoot that car bomb yet? I guess when the car bomb's here, I'm going to keep my helmet.
Hey, I'm just going to tell the sheriff that we're all carrying airsoft gear. They're airsoft weapons, but no, they can inspect them. Private property, need a search warrant. No, actually, I'm going to tell them exactly what it is. It's a gun. Do something about it.
This is rifle.
Yes, honestly.
The good news is the only crime I plan to commit is pray in public. So that's illegal right now.
I don't know. The crime I plan to commit is exercising the Second Amendment.
Oh, that's not a crime.
Neither is
praying in
public.
But,
But they look at it that way.
welcome to Virginia.
What happened to all the Hawaiian stuff?
Still here. Just didn't feel like
It's
wearing
in the
one
closet,
today.
bro.
That's what I was going to ask, actually.
It's in the closet like most of the Boogaloo boys are. No, I'm just kidding. No, I just didn't feel like wearing it today. So.
It's just for a particular vibe only.
Yeah. That's,
Yeah, I mean.
That's Holy Day attire.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
for like when the Boogaloo happens, we'll wear the Hawaiian shirts again. Until then, we'll LARP.
I was talking about Richmond, the Holy Day.
Yeah.
Martin Luther King
I will
Day.
be wearing it in Richmond on Lobby Day, though.
Yeah. I didn't last time. But
And I may do in Richmond what we're doing today. Can't carry guns into the
yeah.
building?
Yeah.
Okay, guess what? We're doing it anyways. What you gonna
Yeah.
do about it? Yep.
Seals are
Be alright.
in San Diego.
Be alright. It's gonna be okay.
Oh, I know. I'm ready for it.
Where you got the name from.
So,
Got a gift for you. Open your hand. You can do it.
oh, okay. I thought it was gonna be something that bit me. Oh, he's going.
Come on, bro. Yeah. Bro. Pissed on me a little bit.
Yeah, he did the same to me. Thank you.
Yeah, they